What's up, y'all? I'm on lunch right now. I want to talk about global warming and how the planet is heating up. He's heating up. I think it's NBA Jam out here. But a lot of people are panicking, or at least the media and the news are creating a panic because it's not getting any cooler. It's like every year is getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Duh. What y'all think was going to happen? We already knew this. This was predicted. This was prophesied. It was put in the Bible. The ancient ancestors of the world predicted all this. I don't know why everybody acting surprised. The question is, can you take the heat? Like they say, if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Can you take the heat? Can you endure the heat? Because it's going to keep heating up. I think people forget that there was once upon a time where this planet was all warm. There was hardly any cold on this planet at one point in time. As a matter of fact, some of the earliest civilizations started in the hottest climate, the hottest part of the earth. And it's going to get back to that level. Funny thing is, a coworker of mine, or someone at my job, I wasn't going to debate her because, you're entitled to your belief. And if you haven't walked a mile in the shoes of someone who has melanin, dark skin, you won't really fully understand. You might be a little ignorant to some things. And people will teach certain people certain things, and they think it applies to everybody, and every color, every shade, every race and ethnicity. It doesn't. And this lady was talking about how people need to be wearing more sunscreen, and how the sun is affecting them, their bodies, and it's irritating the skin and all that. And she said, I told her, well, that might be the case for a lot of people, but that's not so much the case for me. And she was like, what do you mean? Everyone needs sunscreen. You can't just sit in the sun for long, long periods of time. I was like, right. I mean, who wants to sit in the sun just for a long, long period of time? But the fact remains, melanated people who are considered black, don't necessarily need sunscreen. People can always try to debate that, and they're going to say, oh, just because you have dark skin doesn't mean you can't get skin cancer, or it doesn't affect your skin, or it doesn't burn you. Okay. That's your belief. But you know what I told her? I said, you can go anywhere in the world, especially poor areas. You can go to the Caribbeans, Jamaica, Africa, Brazil, some of the hottest climates on this planet. People spending pretty much their whole day in the sun, who are dark pigmented like myself, they don't never wear sunscreen because they already have sunscreen. So if you don't have melanin or dark pigmentation on your skin, you're going to be affected more by the sun. I don't know why people always are these days are acting like the sun growing hotter or the planet growing hotter is abnormal, or they want to feel they convince themselves that something's wrong with the sun, something's wrong with the planet because it's warming up and it's affecting them, while it's not affecting us or certain melanated people. But this is also the reason why a lot of people envy quote unquote black people, because no matter what the circumstance they're in, the planet does not affect them the same way it affects people who are lighter skinned. This is not saying that being lighter skinned is bad or some kind of curse, but this is just the reality of it. Just like there's a lot of women who feel a certain type of way that they don't have the options and the choices that a man has based on the organic makeup. The difference between the male organs and the female organs. Like, the reason why I say that is like, it's not cool, but a lot of guys can sleep around, have sex, have babies everywhere, and they can keep on going. For women, they can have sex all they want to, but there's risks involved in that because they can either get pregnant, they're transferring their energy. Now, it's the same thing that applies for the man as far as who they connect with, but a woman can't just open herself up to any old man, because she can inherit the wrong spirits, demons. She can be more at risk of getting some kind of type of disease, STD or something like that. And just the way the woman's body works monthly is just not, they don't have the same options as a man does. Just like, okay, so back to this. A lot of people who are lighter skinned don't have the same options or the same advantages that a melanated person has. But this planet is going to keep getting hotter. If y'all saw the movie Total Recall, it's going to be a total recall very soon. And as long as you are taking care of your mind, body, and spirit, you will be okay. You will be able to endure the extra heat and the changes on this planet. But if you're someone who has a lot of hate in your heart, who's racist, who is very, very toxic to the planet, who probably litters all the time, and is always trying to attack people and bring people down, the sun is going to affect you worse. I've seen it. I've seen some of the most racist people, and when that sun hit their skin, oh my Lord have mercy. They be all red and mad and but like they said, God don't like ugly. And your skin tone or your ethnicity don't make you ugly. It's your inside, it's your personality, it's your attitude. Your behavior is what more than likely makes you ugly. Even people that's melanated. People that's melanated that have a very, very ugly, nasty personality, and they're very, very toxic all the time. Why do you think there's a lot of diseases that are high in the black community? Because there are a lot of black people who are living very toxic, who have a careless attitude towards life. They speak toxicity, and they act out very toxic. Their actions are very toxic, and therefore they inherit diseases, cancers, and all of that other stuff. Now, of course, there's other things that come into play, like, the way with the foods they eat, their habits, it could be addictions or whatever the case may be. But just from an organic point of view, spiritually, if you're not balanced, and if you don't have a purpose to help bring balance to the planet and help make the world a better place, you are going to be the most affected negatively. You're going to be getting sick a lot. You're going to get sunburned. You're going to have, I know there's people at my job, guys that are, it's a white dude I know of, a white guy, real cool cat, bald head, short dude. I know damn well he'll need to be in the sun the way he be in like that. But because his mindset is strong, and because he's a good man by nature, and he's a real cool, laid-back dude, respectable, and every time he come across me, he'll never act funny style, He's always cool, always acknowledging me, fist bumping me or whatever the case may be. When I see him in that sun, to me, in my eyes, from my point of view, I'm like, yeah, he's certified. I see why he can get in the sun and just bake. He'll sit down and let the sun just fry him. And I'll see his skin turn, instead of turning red, his skin turns more like a, it just puts a tint on his skin. So it browns a little bit rather than burns. I even saw his wife one time. His wife is more fair-skinned than he is, but she does the same thing he does. She came to visit him at work, and she joined him for lunch, and they were both in the sun, the hot sun. This is Texas now. I'm talking about triple digits with humidity. They were baking in that sun, but they were not affected because they are at peace. They are one with nature. They are one with the planet. But the people who have a lighter skin, who have a lot of hate, racism, and anger and greed on this planet, they are getting affected the worst. So all I'm saying is this. It ain't gonna get no better as far as this heat is concerned. But don't allow the media and the news to make you feel like, or to make you panic and make you feel like you need to be getting all this old extra stuff to keep you cool. I'm not saying challenge yourself and just sit in the sun and see how much you can take. No. I'm just saying this. Don't go along with what they're saying, telling you. Just keep your mind right, your body right, stay hydrated. And when you get in the sun, don't speak negatively towards the sun. It's like, God damn, this fucking sun is hot. I mean, you can be like, sheesh, ooh, it's hot out here. But don't add extra toxic words or don't add extra toxic words when you're speaking about the planet being hot. Because if this planet was just all cold, extremely cold, there would be no life on this planet. There will be no life at all. When Texas got that freeze, when we had that freeze, shit, you know how many people was praying for the sun to come back? When Texas was froze all over, which was very suspect that all of Texas got froze like that. But a lot of people, more people died in the cold than people dying in the heat from a heat stroke or whatever the case may be. People do die from heat strokes now, but it was more people dying from the cold. When people were dying from carbon monoxide. They would sit in their car when when that freeze came. A grandmother and her grandson died in their car because they were trying to stay warm. So don't take the heat on this planet for granted. Just try to navigate through it. But they keep trying to say, oh, it's this and so, it's because of this and because of that. It's bound to happen, man. This planet is about to get itself back to top form and back to its normal form. Vibrant. I remember they used to say, I remember as kids we used to ask, and I mean, I'm not saying I just went along with it, but it was always a question of why God could never come to the planet and manifest himself. Why he can't come to the earth and just speak to people when he reach out to them or whatever case may be. And as kids, we were told that God, he is so bright and so light as far as like the aura around him. If he was to enter this planet, this whole planet would burn up. That's what we used to be told. They used to tell us that this whole planet would burn up if God stepped foot on this planet. Even though, the story the stories say Jesus, God sent his son down. And maybe that was another reason they said, well, God had to do that because he's too divine to be on this planet. So he sent a human form of him, his human seed down. But you could make up the theory and say, hey, well, maybe God is in orbit. Maybe he's en route. And when God officially steps foot on Earth, everything will be burnt. Everything will be hot, blazed. So you might as well get used to it because it ain't going to get no cooler. We're going to have winters are going to be a lot colder still. We're going to have crazy cold winters. But overall, this heat during the certain seasons is not going to get no better. But keep your mind stronger. Keep your mind pure. Because after a while, you forget that it's super hot. You'll be sweating. You're going to feel the heat, but you're going to be so locked in on what you're doing that you're not going to really be as affected by it. So it's been many times where I'm in the sun. I'm under air conditioning right now, but when I'm out, I'm in the sun and I'm doing things and I'm sweating and stuff like that, but I don't feel like I'm about to pass out or die. So embrace the sun, embrace the planet, adjust to what's going on, adapt to it, but don't speak down on it. Don't make it seem like this planet is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, because it's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to be cleansing more. There's too many impurities on this planet, and it must cleanse itself. So if we got to wash things away with the water, if we got to burn things away with the sun, if we got to move things away with the winds, or open up or shake things up with the earth, it's going to do what it needs to do. Just make sure that you are one with this planet and don't fall for what man wants you to do and what they're trying to get you to do, because they're trying to use AI on you when you should be using nature. So stay connected, man, and just remember to not be distracted with the propaganda and the stuff that's on TV and on the news. And be careful with that sunscreen stuff, y'all. Because a lot of y'all, if y'all look up the ingredients on the sunscreen, a lot of y'all think that sunscreen is, or whatever it is, that y'all putting on y'all skin to protect you from the sun. Something that's supposed to help charge you and bring warmth to you. You're putting on something unnatural to defend yourself from something that is natural. Where they do that at? So you think this man-made chemical that you're putting on your body is going to protect you from the sun rays, the harmful sun rays from the sun? No, it don't work like that. In my opinion, it don't work like that. But for all you melanated people, don't let people convince you just because they don't have the melanin that you have to put on sunscreen just like them. You are the sunscreen. We are the sun people. You got sun people and ice people. Maybe some people I don't know what the in-between would be. But if you are dark skinned, you have natural sunscreen. You have an organism on your body. You have a badge. You are sun-kissed. So there's nothing wrong with your sun getting a little darker. Sometimes I get way darker than this shade right here. And then it'll go back to my regular dark brown color. But don't be fooled. And don't allow people who that can't even survive an hour in the sun without putting some on their skin tell you what you need to do when the sun hits your skin. Just because they can't take it don't mean that you can't take it. So I'm not saying just be in the sun 20 hours a day and put it to the test and see if you're going to get some sun cancer, skin cancer, or be burned. But just know that you can go to every country on this planet and go to the poorest areas where a lot of blacks are. They're out in the sun all day, every day. You can go to Africa Don't know Africans wear no damn sunscreen, and they live long lives. It may not be as prosperous and luxurious like as some of us spoiled people here in America, but that don't mean that they're not still living long, healthy lives. They are. They just don't have all the resources and stuff we have. But they're not dying off from malnutrition or from the sun. If anything, they could be dying from poverty, not having enough food and shelter. But the sun is not killing them. Poverty and diseases are killing them. And a lot of these diseases are coming from either... Let me stop. I'm not going to even say that. But y'all be easy, man. Stay strong. Keep your mind pure. Don't live your life in hate and greed and negativity. Live your life in love, harmony, and truth. Take it easy.